Hello, everybody.
Evening.
It's David and Evelise here with davidandevelise.com, and we found an awesome quote. We've been talking about this, thinking about this. It's funny how things go in spurts, right? You think about something and then you start hearing about it. That kind of thing has been happening in the last week. And we found this quote that very often the first essential step in getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are, by J.P. Morgan. So what do you think?
So in order to get the conversation started, we were talking this evening about what we had to do to take that first step. And when we thought of it, we actually didn't have to shed one thing. We had to shed numerous things. We had to shed our jobs. We had to shed our home. We had to shed, leave our neighbors and our place of worship, the children's school, our chickens, one of our cats. There's probably more items than that because we wanted to be in a different place. And so it wasn't an easy decision, but because we had a vision of our life being different, of our life looking different, of having a different flow to our daily schedule, we needed to be able to, or be willing to step out and shed some really big things. Mm-hmm. And then we started talking about in our business, our ability to work from home, we actually have to make big decisions. And that's really come more true in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, I was listening to a colleague the other day who said that most CEOs, most business owners, in order for them to make a big decision, they have about 65% of the information, or they need 65% of the information in order to make a decision and move forward. And that was really impactful to hear that, because once in a while, we'll talk to folks who are thinking about going into business online. And based on the questions, you realize that they're actually looking for 100% certainty. And if we were to require 100% certainty before we moved forward on a decision, that would really bog down our business. And so,
and we wouldn't be where we are now.
We wouldn't be where we are now. And so it's been exciting to be able to apply that concept of moving forward by taking big, bold steps and not worrying about it being a guaranteed success, if you will.
Right. Just knowing that what you're doing or making your decision on is going to either help you in one aspect of your business, or it's going to change your business to a different direction, or it's going to change you and help you in the direction you're going. So it's more, putting the weight on what the benefit's going to come out, whether it be certain or not, and it's not always certain. So.
Right. So, so that's been very exciting for us to apply that concept. And let's be honest, people who want to make a change, but then they equivocate, and they need to know, almost like they're requiring a guarantee. There are no guarantees in business. And once you understand that, if you require a guarantee, then the best place for you is to be an employee.
Mm-hmm.
And even that's not a guarantee.
No.
I mean, that's a guarantee for most people. It was for us that you're pretty much going to live paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. If that's what you need or that's what you want, that's certainly available. We definitely didn't want that.
We wanted to make a change.
We wanted to make a change, but in order for her to do that, we had to accept the reality that there was no guarantee. And there's something that's both very freeing about that and absolutely a little bit nerve-wracking too, but you're going to get the results that everybody wants but is not willing to actually take the risk to get. Mm-hmm. And so when we stepped out 18 months ago on this journey down this path, we had an idea of what we wanted, but we didn't know exactly the specific decisions that we were going to have to make along the way. Yeah. And there were some dark days. Mm-hmm. But now, 18 months later, after we first made that decision, we're looking at, and we'll just tell you, I mean, we're not telling you to brag about it. We're telling you because these are real numbers. We've realized an income of just under $20,000 in the past 30 days.
Yeah. Pause here for just a second. Yes, Gina, I'm just going to read because in case somebody's not seeing this and they're just listening. Gina put, hi, Gina. Equivocate. Good word. Good to hear this. Change. Scary. Yes, but nothing will change without the first step. So true and so poignant to this, Gina. And I was just going to say is that, you were talking about we had some dark days, but lately, recently, sorry, hold on to that thought, or go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say this. Yeah. Whether you stay put where you are, or whether you take the risk of, however you want to express it, jumping off or, going into business for yourself, however it looks for you, if you're on the fence about deciding which way to go, for us, it was an easy decision because the alternative of staying in the same place was much more fearful in a way than actually jumping off and taking a risk. Both, it's like when I was in the investment world, I was managing people's money. I actually managed my mom's money. My mom was very scared of risk. She wanted her money safe. She wanted her money to be guaranteed for the most part. I mean, I had to talk her into just getting into a very modest exposure to stocks, just so her money would grow a little bit with her. And I said, at one point I said, look, Mom, everybody takes risk when it comes to investing. When you say that you don't want risk when it comes to investing, there's no such thing, because you're taking on a different kind of risk. When you say you don't want risk, you're actually taking on what's called inflation risk or purchasing power risk. I'm afraid for you that your money's not going to keep up with inflation because you're so safe. You're so worried about losing any money. And I think that's the same reality that we all face. Are we going to be more scared of taking on the uncertainty of having our own business, or are we going to take on the uncertainty or the certainty of living paycheck to paycheck, which has its own pitfalls, as we've already alluded to. Anyways.
Oh, I was just getting at that. Now we can move into the results time.
Okay.
Because of how we finally got to a tipping point. And so that was really fun. We were kind of waiting for that tipping point, and it's very important because it happens in a lot of different businesses. As you work really, really hard, you do things, you make decisions, you regret some decisions, and it's like no big deal. You gotta keep going, do things differently. Don't quit, just because of some of the decisions you made, and then tipping point. So
yeah. So one of the things we've learned is that when it comes to how business owners typically operate, or what we feel are good business owners, and we've tried to apply this in our business, and that is being quick to make decisions, not slow to make decisions, quick to make a decision without having 100% of the answers. Maybe 50%. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling, just making a decision and then slow to change that decision. Most people are slow to make a decision and they're quick to change. They're all like okay, I'll think about doing this X, Y, and Z business, but if it doesn't, work out in the next week or two, then I'm out of here.
Yeah,
that's clearly not the way you want to approach, especially online marketing. So these results that we've had in the last month, it isn't as if, okay, we did something 30 days ago that resulted in these current, most recent results. No, these results actually emanated way back in late August and then into September and then into October. And before the fruit really started to pay off, because first we had a vision of what we were going to do, and we implemented that vision. But the results, they still took a few months.
Gina says, "LOL, you're totally talking about me." No, Lloyd, Nolan, hello. Make a decision and go with it. Yes. We also, when we had
Lloyd,
we have been, doing this for 18 months. He said. And so there was some time there that is different than in the past 6 months. But we also made a change. We made a big change, a big decision in October, August, September. And, August, but...
Yeah, and late August, early September. Yeah.
And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. Right. So, but the stuff that came before that, I think really helped us with our mindset. Right. And where we were going to go and getting us ready to make this decision. Right. Knowing what we knew, what we've been learning.
Yeah. And it's not like, okay, there's no sense of, oh yeah, we've made it now. And now we can expect this always. Right. No, there are going to be bigger decisions in the future. There's always going to be decisions. It's just going to be how big those decisions are. And so, it's a constant one thing about this business, it's a constant exercise in personal growth, and so that's the other cool aspect of it. But anyhow, love the JP Morgan quote. Very often the first essential step in getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are. And so, love to hear your comments. And
we know, Gina, you're on that road right now. You're wanting to make a change and getting somewhere. You're wanting to go somewhere. So, you're going to make that decision at some point, and especially when that one thing comes in. When you're presented with what's going to make the change, it'll be there, and you'll be able to make that decision. So, I know you will be. It'll be awesome and good timing. So. See, did we miss anything else in here? I thought something else popped up. Just wanted to see. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. A little late evening live here, but we just wanted to, we were excited. We, looked up our results again today and in the past 30 days.
But but I just want to say, Gina, that was a very good question. Is this an evolving business? And I kind of wax philosophical about our business. I spend a lot of people ask me, what it is sometimes. What do you do? And my first response is, well, I think. I do a lot of thinking. But yeah, this is an evolving business. I would definitely say that. and it's definitely an evolving business, and you have to be willing to evolve, and there's no question about it. So
yeah, it's learning and changing and growing.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, our particular business model, I think, is evolving. It's always getting better. It's really, really amazing what people have put together in terms of online marketing platforms. So it's very, very exciting to be in this industry, and we're looking forward to it continuing to evolve.
Real quick, what somebody asked you yesterday or the day before what you did, and you had a different answer, and I liked it too. About freedom, helping people. Oh
yeah. Somebody asked, well, what is it you do? And I said, well, I show people how to leverage the internet to so they can have the freedom that will enable them not to have to ask for permission to go to the restroom, or take days off for a sick family member, or any of a number of things that we were conditioned as employees to I was a former high school English teacher, so I couldn't just hey, I gotta go run an errand and leave the office. It's like you just couldn't do that as a teacher. But
Gina said, "LOL, me too. I'm the analytical, and it can be my downfall."
Yeah, and that's another good point. I'm definitely on the analytical side, and yeah, I mean, what do we call it? Analysis paralysis. You can just get bogged down in over analyzing. Like I gotta just know, I gotta analyze this thing to death. And meanwhile, you're missing out. You're wasting a lot of time, right? Yeah. Just analyze. I mean, you can analyze stuff all day long. And so I totally get that mindset. But I had to get past it. I had to say, you know what? I got to make quick decisions. I can think about it for a little bit, but I got to make this quick decisions and move forward. And you know what? It's okay if it turns out to be the wrong decision or it's a mistake. It's like, all right, well, you know what? If I hadn't have made the decision to do it, I learn more when I make the decision, and then I really know how something turns out. That's what I like about just making a decision. And I think Richard Branson says the same thing. He says, just say yes and figure out the details later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who better to take advice from than Richard Branson when it comes to business? Like, if that dude is saying that stuff, and I heard him actually say it in person last year in Vegas, if he's actually saying that stuff, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to take his advice. I'm not even going to question it.
And you did.
And I did. Anyways.
Did you want to share the results?
Yeah, I think I already did. For the past month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Missed that. I don't know. I was sitting right here, but I don't know where I was. Yeah. Anyway, so good to see you guys all. Thank you, Lloyd and Gina, for hopping on, and all of you other looky-loos. Let us know. Reach out if you have any other specific conversations. Gina, let's catch up. We had a lot to talk about sometime this week, and we hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Check us out at davidequivocate.com if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video.
And you can sign up for our newsletter there too, and we'll see you then.
Bye.